hope you're here for, it's gonna be a little bit of lecture, a little bit of what we're doing, and then I'm gonna show you all the things that you should do or should not do when it comes to your back, okay? One of the things that I learned years ago is if you have a question, if someone asks you a question, answer the question. I don't do anything unless someone tells me. People tell me to do something, I'm not gonna do it until I know why. Anyway, so this is kind of it. The spine has, remember, 3 curves. It's got the cervical curve, the lumbar down here, and the thoracic. Okay, so our curves, as we get older, start to compress. Okay, so some of the things that we do naturally,
I'm trying to find the volume.
we should not do. Okay. If anybody's there, could you mute yourself since I can figure it out? Thank you, darlings. I'll come back to you, I promise. Anyway, so one of the things that people do all the time without thinking is they rotate and bend. Okay? Really hard on your spine, or they do spinal flexion without support. One of the worst things you could possibly do. You've got ligaments that hold that together. And pretty soon people go, oh, I've been doing that for years. Well, one of these times your back's gonna say, I'm done, totally done. So that's something that you just really have to think about is flexion. Now, as we get older, we have osteoporosis, osteopenia, which is almost osteoporosis, loss of bone, and our discs get closer together. I personally have spurs, don't ask me why, on one half of my thoracic, the middle of my back. So a lot of times just turning over at night hurts. That's what I have to live with.
Just do it.
Chiropractor said, you know, this is, you know, the way it is. Okay. So I'm going to show you a bunch of exercises that will help your back and how to get up, how to move. Because again, a lot of times, I always tell you, if you know me at all, I've always said, your butt is the protector of your back. And it really is. So we're going to start with just a little warm up because we're not going to do exercises without warm up.
Is that okay?
Do it yourself, please. All right. All right, ready just to warm up with me? I'm gonna make sure you see my feet. All right, here, you don't see my head, which is not a bad thing. Come on in.
Warming up, she's gonna do some back, so.
So you're just gonna warm up, getting the muscles nice and warm, and then we're gonna go through all the exercises for the back.
Was this lady that attended singing class?
Yeah.
With you?
Yeah, she did, but then she didn't come.
In the back.
Girl.
Yeah, she did train her, this lady.
Step together. Remember, it's important to warm up the large muscle groups before you ever do anything to them. Working up the back.
So I'm not gonna just
Show that.
Run it out.
Show the ladies
Why
that.
don't you do it on the knees?
Focus squat.
Not on. I have us without camera. He wants to do it. He wants to do it.
Walk it down.
Look at Fishy.
And drop and roll. Okay, roll them back. Music's going on. Okay, so one of the biggest things that people do that we shouldn't do is this one. Why is that? Because there's no support. So again, your muscles have to work. And a lot of times you're thinking this is a good stretch. This would be a better stretch.
Is she here too?
A little more support. Okay, same thing on the other side. Now, hamstring. A lot of people love to do this one. This one is not any good because you're hanging on your spine. Okay, so that is not something you want to do because one of these days your back's going to say, I'm done. If you have grandchildren or children, one of the things that I had to teach people how to do for myself, because I have 5 kids, is your ligaments are very loose for at least 6 months after birth. So you're getting in and out of a car seat. So what we do as parents or grandparents, we rotate and we lean. Worst thing we can do. I had a client one time that was a mechanic. Okay, he had to do this. This again is working on a car. So what I did is taught him how to use his butt because that is a protector of the back. So let's go through that. If you were going to do something like that, if you're a mechanic or even a masseuse, anything that you're going to bend over that you or cook, that you have to do that for reflection, what you're going to do is you're going to use your butt. The more you do it, the more you're cognizant of that, pretty soon it becomes automatic. It's automatic. So what we're going to do is, what do you do for the back? There's a couple of things. One, we're going to do it's hamstring and butt, but it is a deadlift without weights first, okay? So you're going to be here, just put your hands on your quads.
Come on.
You're going to hinge back. So as soon as you start to hinge, right from here, the hip flexors, you're going to squeeze your butt. So you're going to go down, you're going to keep your back nice and straight, and you're going to bring it back up. So you should feel this in your butt and your hamstring, okay? All the way down, all the way back up. Now I know it feels better, flex, to roll up in a ball and flex. But if you've got osteoporosis, if you've gone through cancer or anything like that, extension is something we need to use. Extension opens up. Well, make sure that your muscles work.
The fruit there. And then
You
go
ate
back.
and then
Have some of the fruit over there.
Okay, could you guys mute yourself since I could never figure out how to mute everybody? Thank you. Okay, so the next thing is, that's a big thing. So why is it important to do anything forward flexion? So say you're working on, well, okay, I'll give you an example. I fish and I'm on a boat. Okay, this position, straight, is harder for balance and it's harder on your back. Anytime you have a split stance, it's better on your back. Okay, because it doesn't, your lower back doesn't have to work as hard. So it's just a split stance. So if you're doing weights, say you're doing weights here, don't do them here, harder on your spine, especially your lower lumbar spine. And then do them here, just it's simple as that, a split stance. Same thing if you were doing a stretch, a standing stretch, you would here, say you're doing a standing hamstring stretch, rather than here, okay? Because that, yes, it feels good. And I know we do some in yoga, and I know we do some in, like if you're a ballerina and all that kind of stuff, you do that kind of stuff, but it's not something that you do every day. And that's just like a baseball player that constantly throws, pretty soon he's going to have shoulder problems because it's not a natural move. So we need to think about our bodies as getting older and taking care of what we've got. Okay. As we age also, we have, what happens is kyphosis, okay? Rolling of the shoulders, narrowing here, you know, and then our scapulas, our shoulder blades start to wing out and our posture gets back, okay? I have a lordosis, okay? I have a big gap basically, so I have to really be careful of this, okay? My thoracic is really where more of my trouble, but most people don't have trouble.
Where it says call using internet audio or join using the internet
Oh,
audio. Just
okay, so what we're gonna do is some of those things. So say you were working on a car or working on something. So what you're gonna do, instead of going forward, as soon as you're gonna do it, you're gonna squeeze your butt, and then your butt is gonna take the brunt. That big old muscle is gonna take the brunt of your back. Okay, so different things that you can do. Again, rotation. Say you were going to do forward flexion and rotation. So instead of doing it here and rotate, you're gonna actually move it around towards that, bend, tuck, squeeze, and then rotate. Okay, vital thing to do. Okay, squats. Squats and one-legged squats. If you have trouble with your sciatica, remember that large, hurts all the way through. If it's really tight, biggest one in the body, it goes from here all the way down to that lovely nerve, all the way down, shoots off here. So if you've got any kind of, and your piriformis, remember, is underneath your butt. It's that muscle, and the sciatic nerve is as big as my finger going right through there. So if it's tight, you're gonna have problems. You have tingling or numbness or just pain. That's usually it, or it's part of your piriformis. So one-legged squats, very, very important. You can hold on to
I'm
something.
watching a class about exercises for your back. You want me to
Okay,
send you the link?
Yeah, I couldn't get your voices off of there, but later. Okay,
Yeah.
so one-legged squat, you're gonna go here and you're gonna shift back. So your knee doesn't pass your laces, and you're gonna go way back and you're gonna squeeze back up. Stay within your hip, don't go to the side, make sure it's straight back. So you straighten back, and then you're bringing it back up. The first time you do these, they're gonna be painful because it's a muscle that we don't use that often. Yes, we do squats, regular squats, but we don't do these. Okay, but it's very, very important for that piriformis and to open that up to release the sciatic nerve. So you'll be doing, so let's do 10. So make sure that all the weight goes to your heel, all the weight goes to the heel. So do 10 on this side. Okay, 2 more. And switch sides. Okay, you can hold on to something or whatever, it's easier to hold on to something and go back. So shift all the way to your heel, keep your hip straight and squeeze back and bring it back up. We'll do 10 on this side.
You can really feel it on the one that you're standing on, can't you? Can you?
You do 4 more. And 1 more. Okay, now to stretch out that, take one leg over and push it down. Now remember, I've said this before, but one of the best things you can do is give yourself a 30-second stretch. Most of us don't, and in classes we don't teach it because we don't have that much time. But that's what you need, because that really releases it. And switch. Okay, now another part of the back. Remember, the back is all of it, the core, all that, which we're going to go through all the core exercises too. But also now we're going to work the gluteus minimus, which is part of the whole hip structure. Will help your back. Remember, the more muscles you have to support the back, the better you've got. Okay, so you can hold on to something or not. And that's all you're going to do is bend that knee. This knee is going to slightly turn in from the hip. Okay, and both knees are bent, and you're going to just bring it out. The reason that you'll know that this is the right position is if you turn it, you can go up. You cannot go any further here. So just bring it in here. We're going to do 10 on each side. 8, 7, 6. And switch to the other side. And make sure that, again, you're slightly turned in and bring it out. So basically, you're pushing your heel up. Okay, so you're pushing your heel up, and you're going to feel it right through here. Okay, 4 more. And one more time on the other side. Bring it up, heel, push that heel up. The leg you're standing on, don't sink into that hip. Pull up out of that hip. Knee is soft.
Here's the thing going on.
Who is it?
Kate?
I don't know. Is it, it's the old table?
Or,
They don't see me, I guess, right?
and switch. The only one I'm seeing right now is me. And I can hear you guys though, which we're supposed to mute you, but I can't figure out how to mute you.
That's the one was last time.
I'm not muting you. You can mute yourself. All right, 4 more. Okay, now the stretch for this is here and just down here. So you're really stretching basically all through here. Okay, what you just did, gluteus minimus, top of the hip. Again, 30 seconds is a better stretch. If you don't have 30 seconds, at least do 10 and switch. Okay, to find out if you've got good posture or bad posture, it's really, have you ever seen yourself in a mirror or you're in a window and it's like, oh my goodness, I look really bad. Okay, so what you do is I want you to turn sideways and think about it. If your hands are here when you're standing up straight, then you've already got an issue with your shoulders. So it's not about shoulders back, it's about rib cage up. So think about it, you're here, pull your rib cage up, automatically your pelvic area will go down and you should be able to line up. Think about lining up your joints.
Well, you should.
And another thing too is line up your joints if you're doing any exercise. Say you're doing a lunge, okay? So say you're doing a lunge, make sure that you line up your joints. And what I mean by knee over the heel, hip over the knee. Better, because it's like this kind of stuff, really hard on your body, hard on your back, hard on your joints, not a good form at all. So form is very, very important. Okay, we're gonna do just regular squats and then we're gonna go to the, well, there's gonna be one more. Everybody know where their shoulder blades are. They're called rhomboids and they pull in. That is something, again, if you do so much with your chest, constantly work here, you have got to work the back and stretch out the chest. If not, we end up like this. Every time we're typing on our computers or we're driving, everything is forward. Everything is forward. So we need to learn how to move back. So what I want you to grab lighter weights, 5 or something. We're gonna do some rhomboid, which is your scapula area. Okay, I'm gonna do it from the side. Okay, already I'm in a split stance, which is better on my back, especially because I've got weights. My abdominal is in, and what I'm doing is I'm gonna come up with a slightly bent elbow, and I'm squeezing those shoulder blades together. Squeezing those shoulder blades together. So again, your shoulder blades, if somebody's with you, have them look at your shoulder blades, because some people's don't track because they're so stretched out. They're not strong, they're just stretched out. Okay, so we're gonna do 10 of these. We're gonna do 5 more. And we're gonna rest. Okay, so if you're doing sets of anything, it's always good to do 10 to 15, rest for 30 seconds, and then do another 10 or 15. And then if you're in the gym or at home, I recommend, not you can do anything you want, is do upper body, lower body, just, or different muscle groups, or opposing muscle groups. If you can do your chest, then do your back. If you're gonna do your quads, then do your hamstrings. All right, let's do one more. So again, set yourself. So right now my butt's already contracted because I'm forward flexion, okay? And if I'm forward flexion, my knees are bent and my butt is engaged because I do not want to hurt my back. Okay, bring it up. We're gonna do 10 more. Make sure your shoulders are down, but your scapulas track, your shoulder blades track in. So you should feel this in the middle of your upper back. Okay, 5 more. All right, good job. Okay, put those back. And just roll them back. Give yourself a nice stretch. Another thing too is when you exercise, as you probably all know this, is you work a muscle, all the blood goes to the muscle, works the muscle, good to stretch it out afterwards, releases the blood back to where it's back to the heart and your whole circular system. Okay, we are going to go to the floor. So get your mats. Okay, so remember part of, see me there? There we go. Okay, part of, everyone says the core. We used to say the torso, but it's the whole thing. The core, yes, we have the rectus abdominis, the big one, very thin muscle. It flexes. We have obliques that go back and forth, all of those. There's also the muscles called erector spinae, which here's your spine. And there's 3 sets that kind of go like that. What those are for, they're for rotation and stability and protect the joint and protect the disc. Because again, our discs get less and less fluid when we age, which is a bummer. And again, if you have osteoporosis, again, please, please, please do flexion. Do extension rather than a whole lot of flexion. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is for the back, the spine, those 3 muscles along the spine. So you're on your hands and knees. And again, what I said, line up your joints. So your shoulder is underneath your wrist and underneath the knee, okay? So what you're gonna do is you're gonna go left, and all of you have seen these. It doesn't look like much, but it is. Now, if you've got an issue with your wrist or your knees, you can go all the way down and do it this way, okay? Left, right. So that's an alternative There's always an alternative. Okay, let's do a bunch of these. Again, hold for about 5 seconds. And believe it or not, what this is, and any back doctor will tell you, any chiropractor will tell you this, is one of the best things you can do, and it doesn't look like much. It doesn't look like we're even doing anything. Very important to do so, though.
She switched finally.
She switched several times.
Okay, let's do just a few more. Okay, now we're going to go all the way down. Now again, if this bothers people too, I'll show you an alternative. This is for the full extension of your back. So you're all the way down in your stomach. We're gonna do upper, then lower, upper and lower. And if you have no problem with your back at all, you can do both. I'll show you both. Okay, so your head's in neutral, which means you're not like a, your head is looking down at the mat. And you're going to bring your upper body up. Breathe. So your upper torso is up from the rib cage and down. Now the back part, try to bring your legs up. So they're basically sitting on your hip flexors.
You need to go.
Just tight. Drop it down. Bring the upper body up. And in neutral, so you should really feel these in your back. And what this does, it feels like it is working. It pulls the muscles or the bones away from. The muscles are working. And down, back. And back. Okay, we're going to do both at the same time. If you want to stay with upper and lower, you do so, because if it hurts, I don't want you to do it. All right, here we go. Up, both. Breathe. And down. And again, up. And down, and one more. Bring it up. Hold. And bring it back down. Okay, now we are going to do a little bit of flexion. So you're going to stretch it back here.
Any better?
Okay, we're going to turn over and we're going to do a bridge. This is another one that doesn't look like a lot, but it really is important. So your hands are flat, your arms are down. What you're going to do is you're going to pull your butt up. You're going to squeeze, okay? As high as you can. And keep it held. And drop it back down. We're going to do one more. Bring it up. Squeeze. And back down. Okay. We're going to bring it up here. Again, this is an abdominal one. Again, the biggest muscle that we want to target for our back is the deep transverse, which is a cylinder that goes all the way around. Okay, stability. So you're here. If you need to put your hands on your thighs, do so. If not, here's fine. Tuck under so you're not sitting on your tailbone. Okay, and you're going to bring it down and bring it back up. So exhale down. Bring it back up. Exhale down. And bring it back up. Exhale down. And bring it back up. We're going to exhale down and we're going to hold. Now remember, relax your upper body. Tuck under. Just hold. Relax your, your shoulders. Okay, you're going to bring it back up a little bit. Sometimes this will be harder on your hip flexors, so you can always take a rest. We'll go back to it later. Okay, now we're going to go back again, back under, and we're going to rotate. We're going to rotate. Again, this acts the obliques, which again are important for rotation. Make sure you're breathing. Okay. Hold it down and drop it down. Give it a big stretch. Okay, now we're going to turn over. Planks are probably one of the best exercises for the abdominal wall you can do, especially if you have osteoporosis. Because there is no flexion involved. It's just, you know, the hardcore of hanging there and pulling it in. So think about pulling in here. Okay, now you can do these on your knees. You can do them up, left, right, or you can do them straight. Here's another thing too. These can be hard on the shoulders. So make sure you pull out of your shoulder joint and push your feet back, okay? If you get tired, drop it down. You bring it up. You're breathing and you're holding. Think about Velcroing your ribs to your hips and hold it there. Bring the belly button in. Pull out of your shoulders. You hold it as long as you want. I never go past a minute because I think it's hard on the shoulders. So I do a minute, side, minute, side, minute, side. But that's me. Anything.
She's on her elbow to try to do that.
Another thing too, I know a lot of people put their hands together. It's basically better on your back to have them straight out. And your elbows are right underneath the shoulders. All right, let's drop it down. Let's bring it to the side. Again, make sure elbow is above. Now again, you can stack your feet, spread your feet. You can drop a knee, you can drop a hand, whatever works for you. Pull that rib cage up, keep breathing. How we doing? All right, we're going to drop it down. We're not going to do a full minute. Drop it down. Go back to the straight. Now, if you feel this in your lower back and it starts to pinch, then drop to your knees, please. Because if your transverse, if your abdominal is not strong enough to hold you up without, then it's not worth hurting yourself. Okay? All right, we're not going to do the full thing. Drop it down. Turn to the other side, so we'll do the other side. All right, drop it down. Let's do one last one. Read up. All right, let's bring it back. Sorry, I couldn't get on. I swear I'm so not techie. Here's myself. Okay. Another thing that you can do, which is very, very important. I know we have a row machine. So if you have a band, it can be even a jump rope. Okay, so you're here and you're going to give yourself a row. So what I do is I drop the band over my feet and then bring it in between so I don't. So my knees are slightly bent, I'm nice and tall, and I'm bringing it back. Side view, here, nice and tall, and squeeze it back.
The better way to put it around.
Work in your rhomboids where your scapulas are.
What you did? You did it around the top and then through.
Very important for good posture. So again, and that reminds me, to bring it down, reminds me too, when you are working the upper body, make sure that you stretch out. If you're working your chest, make sure you work the back of your arms, because again, that will help pull down. And the rotator cuff, which we've done before, which I'm going to show you real quick, is very important for a good shoulder girdle and a good part of your back. So you can do it with a band, or you can do it with a weight here, okay? So if you're down here, you can do it with the weight palm down, or palm up, and here. I would not go past a 5-pound weight. But again, your elbows in, and you're bringing it up. Okay, at a straight angle. If not, you will be more tired with this one, because it is one of those things. But again, work through your rotator cuff, through your delt. Very important. All right. Stretching. If you're going to, yeah, a lot of people do this, and there's nothing wrong with that per se, but a safer way to stretch a hamstring is one. So you cross over, and then you bring it down, and you hold. Okay. Relax upper body. Again, if you can hold 30 seconds, awesome. And release, other side. And
You need to go away. You need to go away. Mom's busy.
Oh, yes. Go ahead, Sam.
and release. Okay, a good stretch. Again, put your hands back behind you. And just be very aware of your body stance. So the next time you're going past a window, which of course all of us are home, so they'd have to be our own windows, is check it out. Check out your posture, see what it looks like. And when you're driving, I'll show you. Another thing, here's a way to get up without hurting your back. Okay? So again, get on your hands and knees. Place it there. If you need the other hand here, but if not, here, and pick yourself up better on your back. Much better on your back. Okay? So, basically, posture, working the rear delts, back of the shoulders, stretching out here, watching your posture, using this every time you bend over. Whatever you do, think about it. Think about how to move. Because remember, osteoporosis and everything else, curves, it's less and less as we get older. They need to be lubricated, which means movement. That's why movement is so important to do what we're doing. Okay, so that is it.